morning, everyone. It is Saturday morning, and things here at Midnight Publishing have just been amazing. First of all, thank you, God, for giving us this platform to make dreams real for other people. Second of all, I just got the information for our sales in July. And as all of you know, when I publish an author, if that author's books can be put on Audible, I put them up on Audible. I have put up just about every book in our little stable on Audible. It is difficult to put up the children's books in Audible because of the way they're written. That being said, children's books are not that expensive and their parents can read to them, but they are up on Kindle and paperback. And if you think that my doing these lives does not produce results, let me tell you it does. Cornfield Flyers of East Tennessee was recently purchased by someone because of this life. So when I highlight an author, there's a reason for it. When I talk about what we do here, there's a reason for it. I challenge every one of my authors to do at least one live a week. Talk about yourself, talk about your books, talk about the things that you do to keep your dream alive. Yes, we do the podcast on Wednesday. Yes, I think we're going to start bringing our authors on there as well. But in my 70 plus years of marketing, yes, I started marketing when I was a little girl at 5 years old, I learned that visibility is very important. Yes, you can put ads on Facebook. Yes, you can put ads on billboards on the expressway. Yes, you can put ads everywhere in God's little green acre. But the human element of being able to communicate with other people is so important. That is something that our younger generation has not yet learned. Things get sold by word of mouth. Murder in the Village is still in the top 100 of new releases. Still. And that's because I keep it out there. My authors' books are selling because I keep it out there. I challenge my authors to do a live. If you have a copy of your book, show your book. And then we will post it on the Midnight Publishing page. We will post it all over our social media. We will post it on our website. I will even put it up on my YouTube, on the YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, yesterday, and I haven't even looked this morning, on the website, we are at 1,100. We are at 1,120 views just on the website. That's because every day it's updated with something. I know that some of you are afraid of doing live videos. I understand that. But let me tell you what, it works. It works so well. And to say that I am proud of my authors is an absolute understatement. Yesterday there was a video that I reposted that is going up on the website once I go back and find it and pull it down, from Tara Harkless, and she hasn't even sent me a book yet, but she has some neat little coloring books for children. Fairies, they're on Amazon. You gotta go get them. If you haven't friended her, friend her. She's amazing. Andrea Dean Van Scoik does some wonderful music videos. If you haven't friended her, do so. She is my goth queen. She is the one that wrote Welcome to Crowhaven Chapel. She's very passionate about this book. It is for the goth community. If you have not yet friended her, please do. Mary Brotherton, Faith and Folly. Look, we've all made unwise decisions in our life, and we've all had to live with the consequences, such as is going on now in the world. But understand that faith will get you through it, and this is what she talks about. She also wrote Sally's Heart, which is a children's book based on a family member who received a heart from someone else. It is written for children in ways that children understand. In our finite mind, we tend to want to protect children from death and from organ donation, and that is so wrong. Death is as much a part of life as living. And when children understand that when someone dies, they can live on in someone else, and that it is a gift, a very unselfish and loving gift, then children are so resilient, they can figure it out. Mary's book, My Angel Book, is also a children's book. It tells children about angels that are around us every day, and the things we see, the things we do, and our pets and our family. And it is just a sweet little book. I've been talking about Gwendolyn Law's book, September Chill. I highly, highly recommend that book. I've lived domestic violence. I've survived it, and I've thrived from it. I've moved on from it. But there are hundreds of thousands of men and women out there that still do not understand there is a way out. Jason Wolfgang Gerhardt's book, The Ferryman. Listen, if you like detective books, thrillers, and the paranormal, this book is absolutely for you. It is so well done. I read this book before I ever started my publishing house. I read this book when he first published it. It's an amazing book. Peggy Engler's books, spiritual inspirational books, A Closer Walk, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Food for Thought, Encouraging Words, A View from a Pew, Soulful Inspirations. Those books were written by a very spiritual woman for women. And as women, we endure day-to-day things that can be trying. Let's just call it like it is. It's trying. The fear of getting older, the everyday grind of getting through our daily task of cooking, cleaning, raising children, dealing with relationships, both in the workplace and at home. These books are for women to help them become stronger within their faith and to understand this world is not our home. We are just passing through. Alta Desinord's book, My Soul Trust in the Lord, is also an inspirational book for women along the same lines. When we put God first in our lives, amazing things happen. Amazing things. And what we have to learn, and this is just a sidebar, is we are not in control of anything in our lives. Nothing. When we're babies, we're not in control of anything, and when we get older, we're not even in control of our bodily functions, if we are blessed to live that long. So when we allow God to be the first person in our lives, and when we allow Him to take all of our burdens and understand that there are many, many things in our lives that we cannot fix, we have to give Him those burdens and we have to forget about them. And another sidebar, God answers every prayer, and sometimes that answer is no. And there's a reason for that, because He knows way down the road. When I first moved into this house that I'm in now, my thought was to stay here a couple of years and then move back to Georgia. And I bought a house in Georgia so I would have a place to stay when I went to Georgia. Well, God has other plans right now. There is no room at the end at my house. My children live there. And every day I am grateful there is no room at the end for me there. Because my children are safe. They have a warm roof over their head. They have floors that are not falling in. They are not living on the street. My great-grandchild is safe. So understand that our thought process, our desires, is not always where God wants us to be. Will I get to Georgia and meet at some point? I don't know. At this point, it doesn't matter, because I trust God to lead me where I need to go. That's my little sermon for the day. I want to talk about my other authors. Andrea Dean Van-Scoyoc, again, an amazing author. If you haven't read her books, you have to read them. They are just, she's different, a good different. Then I have Sherry Ann Richardson. This young woman has grown so much since we made her dream come true. Again, this is a God thing. I'm telling you, it's a God thing. She has purpose in her life. She has a positive attitude in her life, and things are beginning to happen for her. You ask me, well, what did she write? She's a homesteader. And she wanted to see if she could grow cocoa plants. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is where the real chocolate comes from. So over the years, she wrote a book called The Chocolate Lover's Garden. And in this book, it is a history book about cocoa. It is a baker's book. It is a cookbook. It is a gardener's book. And it can be used in homeschooling. What a concept. It can be used for children who are learning to cook, bake, learn about gardening, and learn about history. This book is so amazing. It is literally 4 books in one. If you've not friended her, I highly suggest that you do. She is going to be appearing at some events in the coming months, and if you live in the Illinois area or the Indiana area, can't remember, go see her, buy her book. Also, she sent me, after we published Chocolate Lover's Garden, she asked me if I would be interested in another book that she wrote in high school called Under the Dragon's Eye. I forgot that I was formatting the book as I was reading it. It is excellent. The front cover and the back cover start the story. But I've seen a change in Sherry since we put those books out. I've seen a change in Sherry since she's been able to promote her books and take them with her at events and show the world she has a purpose. Again, this is a God thing, ladies and gentlemen, because I am seeing this woman blossom. I am seeing Andrea blossom. I am seeing Mary Brotherton just go right off the charts. And you know why? because she is able to blossom. She is doing imprints for all of our different genres because we do so many genres now. We want each genre to have its own magical imprint. If you have not yet joined our Midnight Publishing Group page, please do. Vote for the mock-ups of the different genres that we have put out there because we want your input as to what imprint you would like to see. Our children's books is now under the imprint of Small Hours. We have an imprint for domestic violence, an imprint for memoirs, an imprint for thrillers, an imprint for true crime, an imprint. She's doing one for comedy. She's doing one for sci-fi. I and the fact that she helps me on Wednesday on these podcasts, I am just, God is such a wonderful, wonderful thing. My books are selling. If you haven't checked out my books, I humbly ask you to. Murder in the Village. If you want to meet the queens on when they first came out, read The Pink Canary. I'm working on Duct Tape, Tarp, and a Shovel, where I bring in my 3 crime solvers of a certain age, so you need to read Shady Rest. Read the books Andrea and I co-authored. Mardi Gras Bound, Arm Candy, all under the umbrella of When Fates Collide. Fates Collide was the first book. Ladies and gentlemen, please support the authors. Please, please, please. Because they are living their dream and are being blessed on so many levels. So on Monday, when I do this live again, authors, please do at least 1 live a week. That's all I'm asking. Just 1. 5 minutes. Talk about your book. Tara, thank you for doing what you did. I'm going to repost it. Ladies and gentlemen, have the day that you deserve, and may your dream come true. And if you're an author, a writer, we want to make your dream come true. Until tomorrow, adieu.